Off respect. You out of line, I get you booted out the set. Shot down, chop down, I be catching reps. I be at your addy once I get that SMS. I pull up. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Stocks B, and I'm back with another reaction video. And man, if you have been paying any attention to this Celeste Rivas case, it's just getting worse and worse. It's just this story is heartbreaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and break down why I titled it Celeste Rivas may not get the justice she deserves. I'm gonna go ahead and break down everything that we've discovered during these past 2 weeks, these past few weeks of Celeste Rivas' body being discovered. Her body was just returned to the family last week from the medical examiner, which means that the medical examiner is done doing an autopsy on her body, which means that he did not being that there is no determined cause of death, the medical examiner is basically done searching the body for gunshot wounds or stab wounds, strangulation marks, blunt force trauma, or anything that would point to a homicide from the medical examiner's standpoint, from his point of view. And now that the body has been released back to the family, the medical examiner is pretty much saying he's done and we did not find anything that points to a homicide. So they're leaving it up to toxicology reports. Now, the reason the title is that way is because this is exactly what I'm going to talk about, the toxicology reports and why she may not get the justice that she deserves. Now, we know that she was placed in this trunk. She did not put herself there. From the reports, her body was dismembered. She did not dismember herself. However, if toxicology reports come back that, let's say, she had a substantial amount of drugs in her system, then it can be classified as two things. It could be classified as a homicide, an investigation that would lead to trying to figure out why did she have so many X amount of drugs in her system. But it can also be concluded that this was an accidental overdose or an intentional overdose, and therefore the blame would then move to Celeste. Now, the body being dismembered and placed in the trunk seems, from what I'm hearing online, seems to be a light charge, a year in jail, 2 years at the most. Dismembering the body, tampering with evidence and things like that of that nature seems to be a misdemeanor crime. I mean, it's almost quite obvious to everybody that's viewing this that David has something to do with this. Allegedly, she's been placed in his car. She's blocks away from his home. She was in a relationship with him. There are reports and videos, audio of a friend that released a text message saying that she felt that Celeste may be in danger, and asked Celeste if she gonna be all right returning to David or whatever the case may be. So it seems like David may have found out something. They had a little argument, and her friend knew. Her friend found out about that argument or that disagreement or whatever the tension was, that she felt the need to ask Celeste, do you think you're going to be all right? Do you think you're going to be safe? Those are words that you use when you know that something truly dangerous can happen or something violent. Like, do you think you're going to be all right going back home? Do you think you should stay out? When you're not sure of what's going to happen to that person that you truly care for. So these are things that we have to look for and we have to really look at. And, you know, as adults, we have to come to, use common sense, right? This seems that they were in some type of heated situation where her friend was really truly worried about her. Now, like I said, I wanted to talk about the title more because at this point, if they do start putting the blame on Celeste, saying that, well, this was an intentional or accidental OD, then the blame then shifts from a homicide, which we all believe that this is, to an accidental OD, and there will be no suspects. Nobody will be searched for. And this is a sad situation when someone actually did this to this young girl. If this young girl was in fact assaulted and dismembered, this is a truly heartbreaking ending that we would have to face. Leaving this to the toxicology reports, because at this point we clearly see that there is no blunt force trauma, there's no gunshot wounds, there's no stab wounds, strangulation, there's no she wasn't ran over, she wasn't thrown out of a building, so there is nothing to point to a definitive homicide, a definite homicide here. And that's truly heartbreaking and sad in this situation. So man, I don't know. In my opinion, I believe that this, everything that we've seen so far points to David. Allegedly, it looks as if everything is pointing to David, from the reports and everything that's being said online, and from the footage that we got, from the information that we got of them dating, and, the car, everything seems to point to David. He went on tour a few weeks before the car was discovered. The car has been sitting in that location for a few weeks before it was discovered. All this seems to be matching up with the timeline of him leaving and going on tour, like he knows something. And one thing I want to say is I'm almost positive, I'm almost certain if David did have something to do with this, he has already made a contradiction to someone that he knows, right? So someone may have asked him, for example, I'll give you an example. Someone may have asked him, well, where your car at? Oh, I let such and such hold it, or, somebody stole it the other day and, I reported it stolen. It could be anything. Let's just say that he told somebody that his car was stolen, or he reported it stolen, or that someone else was driving his car, or whatever the case may be. If that turns out to be not true, then that is a contradiction. Now, if it's something that's being reported that already contradicts what he told someone, if he told someone, yeah, I reported the car stolen, and it's being reported that this car was never stolen, then that person that he told, my car was stolen, knows that David lied, knows that David is hiding something. Man, he might not know why, or she may not know why. They may know that David lied. Another thing I want to say is the people that's living in that immediate area where that Tesla was found should be looking at footage from a month ago, a month and a half ago, to when that Tesla wasn't there. Every day, night. You don't have to watch the whole day. You can scroll through the day, scroll through the night. If you don't see the Tesla, move on to the next day. Until you see that Tesla, start rewinding until you can see who left that Tesla there. And maybe we can come to the conclusion to find out who actually left the Tesla there, which would bring us a lot closer to answering the question of what actually happened in this situation. Because if we discovered that someone else left the Tesla there that wasn't aware that there was a body in it, then maybe they would be willing to talk. Or maybe somebody knew it was a body in there, but they don't want to have too much to do with it, and they'll be willing to talk. So I don't know if Celeste Rivas' case will get solved through toxicology, and if we're dependent on toxicology, we may be left disappointed. I think that this case will come down to surveillance. I think it will come down to witness testimonies. I believe it will come down to some sort of confession, but I do not believe that the toxicology report will give us anything that will lead to a homicide. But I don't know. I could be wrong. These are all allegations. These are just thoughts that I had running in my mind. I haven't been on here in a while, so I just want to come up here and give you guys something that you guys can reach into and really think about, that we can all think about as parents, as adults, as human beings, people that have a conscience, that is thinking with the right mentality right now. It just all seems to be pointing to David, and I just don't understand how we can look past David at this point. And I'm not accusing David. I'm truly not accusing him, and this is allegations that are heinous. These could be allegations that he doesn't deserve, but at the same time, everything seems to be pointing to him. All the evidence seems to be pointing to his guilt. But again, with no report from the medical examiner, the police and investigators have nothing to go on, so they're waiting on toxicology reports, which may give them more of nothing to go on. So my prayers, my thoughts, my condolences goes out to Celeste's family. And another thing I want to say, I hear a lot of people in rumors saying that maybe Celeste's family was abusive. Maybe she wasn't. It was a video of her ex-boyfriend saying that he heard Celeste herself say that she did not like what was going on at home. But these can all be rumors, speculation. These is, unconfirmed stories. And what I want to say is my condolence and my heart goes out to the family, whether we know or not they were abusive. These are people that love this girl. They try their best to keep her at home. They try to find her. They put out reports. And, sometimes in situations like this, I have known quite a few runaways in my past, and as a younger that had fake IDs, that was living on the streets, that was living with different people, older people, younger. There's just so many different situations of people 16, 17 that ran away, that had fake IDs, that was literally away from home for 2-3 years as a runaway, and became adults, and their parents never found them until they was adults. And it's just, a hard situation for parents to try and get over. And the point that I'm trying to make is
maybe Celeste did have fake ID. Maybe she did go off the grid where nobody could find her, nobody knew where she was at, using different Instagram accounts that couldn't be traced, and not telling people exactly where she was at, being around a bunch of unfamiliar faces who didn't know her, or these people were thinking that she was actually in college. So this is truly a heartbreaking situation, man, and there's so much confusion to this story that we may never get to the bottom of what actually truly happened. So again, my heart goes out to the family. She got aunts, cousins, brothers, family members that truly loved her. Whether or not her parents were abusive, I believe they truly loved her. And it's just a heartbreaking situation, man. Now, as far as David, I don't want to put any allegations on him, and I don't want to paint this as he's guilty. Like I said, I just want to be 100% transparent in this. I don't know whether he's guilty. I don't know whether he's not guilty. What I do know is it all looks suspicious, and it all seems to be pointing to guilt. Now, I can't confirm that, but I want to know what you guys think about this whole story. Do you think she'll truly get justice? Do you think that the medical exam, I mean, excuse me, not the medical exam, do you think that the toxicology reports will bring back something for the investigators to move in the direction of a homicide? I've seen news reports and I've heard anchors and different people talk about how they believe that there will be an investigation into a homicide after the toxicology reports come back, which is kind of hard to believe because, as I mentioned, this could be something that was accidental. This could be something that was intentional on her behalf, allegedly, and we would never know the truth of that. So if something did happen, and let's just say that someone poisoned her, and they can't confirm that someone did poison her, then it would look like an accidental OD or an intentional OD. So these are things to keep in mind, man. It's truly a heartbreaking situation. This story has been going on for a couple weeks, a few weeks, and we just want to get to the bottom of it. So let me know what you guys think in the bottom of the comment section. Again, man, if I haven't said it, I have surgery coming up in 7 days, so I'm going to try my best to get you guys as much content as possible for now. And after that, I'm going to try my best to get back. And I believe this is my last surgery, so I should be back on the road. I should be back up and running permanently once I get everything back up, once I get the surgery done. So, man, I truly appreciate all you guys for sticking around. I want to send a huge shout out to all my subscribers for sticking around through these months that I haven't been active. It truly means a lot to me, man. So, like I said, man, I'm gonna get back to this content. I'm gonna get back and make it as much as possible. So, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Sty Speed. Make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.